Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be taking a look at SoftBank Group Corp. So as always, starting out by looking at their PE ratio, it's currently at a 3.01, which is always a good first impression to see as it's an indicator of it being undervalued. Now, seeing if they offer any dividends, they do, as the yield's at 0.57%, which equates to about 10 cents per share, which is pretty low, but it's always nice to see a company give back to its investors, even if it's a little bit. Before we move into the income statement, I want to see what the gross margin and return on invested capital is. Right now, the gross margin is basically 77%, which is good because the lowest you want this number to be is 20%. Then with the return on invested capital, it's looking good at 20. Whoa, what happened? It's looking good at 22%, as you want this to be at 7% and above. Getting into their income statement now, we're going to look at the revenue. So as of the most recent year, they're bringing in 11.92 trillion, which is up roughly 3 trillion from 5 years ago, so this is great to see. They have been mostly consistent with this, but they did have 2 bad years in a row, but they managed to pull it back in 2021, so I'm not very concerned with this going into the future. Now, taking a look at their net income. So I would say it looks better than the revenue. So the one bad year they did have was in 2020, which I will not hold against them since we all know what was going on in the world at this time. And the last thing to look at on the income statement is the shares outstanding. So this is something you want to see decrease. The more it goes up, the less your shares are worth. And as you can see, it's looking great. Overall, they managed to bring it down to 1.89 billion from 2.22 billion. Moving into the balance sheet now, we're going to start off with their current assets. So their current asset growth looks good as they brought this up to 10.82 trillion, which is an increase of 89% from 5 years ago. Now, with their current liabilities, as of 2021, they're at 12.89 trillion, which is not good to see as they have about 2 trillion more current liabilities than current assets. The last one of the most important aspects to look at in any company is the free cash flow. Cash flow is important because companies that have a lot of money on hand have the advantage of being able to pay off any debt, invest into future growth, or pay dividends. So this is clearly something you need to see be improved on year after year. So for SoftBank, it's a little concerning to look at. They have done more bad than good with this, I would say. In conclusion, SoftBank has some slightly below average financials in my opinion. Some things I want to see them work on is their balance sheet altogether and their free cash flow. When it comes to buying this stock, I personally would not be buying it until it drops to like $15 or even less. I actually do have a lot of faith in this company since I do have a really nice income statement, but as of right now, I'm just going to hold out. Two things I want to mention before I end the video is my trading strategy is centered around finding value in a company. If I don't see consistent growth in most or all the categories I cover, then I tend to stay away. Secondly, I also want to point out that I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy speaking my opinion on stuff on YouTube, so I highly recommend doing more research before coming to the conclusion of buying or selling any stock that I talk about. If you guys have any companies you want me to take a look at, feel free to comment them down below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching and have a nice day.